Good morning. Good morning. How are we this morning? How are we doing? Yeah, just make sure you've got your cup of tea. I'm always doing my hibiscus tea, herbal tea in the morning. That's the first thing that I take because it is also an antioxidant. You know, we were having a conversation with somebody who wants to do a documentary on the issues of marriage because I think the experiences he's been having have really alarmed him. And the whole issue here is because of time, because of time. So time is 24 hours has become very, very little in many people's lives. And so I was sharing, with him that there are several things that I have actually combined, for me to really not give excuses. So I can sort out one thing, maybe do one thing, shoot it, but I'm shooting three, four other things. So when it comes to my health, I'm very, very deliberate. Apart from exercising, which is really, maybe people are saying it's basically a hobby. Please, as I'm narrating this, call your friends. Okay, share the link and just tell your friends that we are live here on this amazing Thursday, an amazing day, the day that the Lord has made. So you don't have to give an excuse when it comes to life. Life still goes on. Please do post on the groups where you are. Just remind the people that we are live on different groups, especially the Project Life Design. Just remind them that we are live. So it is important for you to know that time will never wait for you. Okay, time is what it has been. That is how it will be. So you just have to be creative yourself in the way you would do things. So I've combined some of the things. So when it comes to my health, I ensure that I'm intentional. I'm really intentional. I'm constant to the certain program. So like it's mandatory in the morning. I've got to have, a tea that has got some antioxidants. It is deliberate. Okay. It is intentional for my health because there are certain things that I slept with, certain foods that I ate that I want to actually discard. In the morning, you make sure that in the morning you have your toilet at home, not where you are going in town and everywhere. That's where the toilets you are going to use because, again, those public toilets, if you like going to do your number two in public toilets because you are sitting there, you may actually, especially for us women, because we are open down there, you may actually, gather a lot of UTIs, urinary tract infections. So you have to be deliberate when it comes to your life. You cannot just go around giving excuses as to why you don't do certain things. So I was telling him that when it comes to pedicure, for my husband, it is something that I do again, intentionally. There are certain things I have selected that I have told myself I will continuously do in order for me to keep a bond. So because he loves soccer, he loves football, he loves watching certain movies, like Impali and all that. So I will sit with him and really look at that particular time what else I can do so that I'm not just idle watching a movie. So usually what I would do is also to combine with a feet massage. So I would do that pedicure for him whilst we are seated there. Sometimes I can even stand whilst we are watching and touching his shoulders and his neck and all, how the day was as we are having that conversation. So there isn't because there's no time where probably I'm just relaxed and I'm sitting. So I'm saying, oh, my husband, let me do a massage. Of course, that time is can be there. I can create it. But in order for me not to come and give an excuse, I am deliberate when it comes to certain things. You have to be deliberate. Time will never wait for anybody. but also if you see certain things the way they are going, that is how come you need to really pay attention to things that really matter. So there is my tea. That is what I was talking about. It is a herbal tea, hibiscus, and it works wonders. All right, now let's go. We are still here. I'm doing highlights, nuggets on this amazing book. Even me, when I'm reading, I'm wondering, like, oh, wow, did I write this? Because the content is really amazing and changing a lot of people's lives. I was really impressed when I heard feedback from a man, Japhet Majando. He gave me amazing feedback after he read, I think, 8 chapters. There are a few things he has implemented that are actually working for him, especially in the boardroom. He says, the highlights, that I've given and the practical aspects that I've given, they are really, really helpful. And I would want to hear that feedback from most of you. And so today, remember that we were talking about sensitivity in the boardroom on a man's point of view. The other week, last week, we are talking about sensitivity in the boardroom on a woman's point of view. Let me just highlight a few things. It is important for you to really plan your life as a woman, like what we were saying last week. When it comes to the boardroom, you are the one who gets pregnant, you are the one who nurses those children. When I usually give this example, if you get a scholarship today, okay, as a woman, you are not going to leave next week for sure, because there are so many factors you've got to really put in order for you to actually even travel for 2 weeks. But for a man, if it has to do with a workshop or it's a scholarship for 1 year or something like that, he'll just pack up his bags and off he goes, because he's a man. So we cannot begin to put up certain arguments that are really natural. You are a woman, and I think let it dawn in you that the issue of competition and the issue of equality needs to really be defined, correctly and properly, because you may be fighting God. You may just be fighting God by your lack of planning. You may end up losing that marriage because you are failing to plan. You are failing to be conscious to the things that you are supposed to actually be doing. There has to be the feminine aspect. That feminine module should remain regardless of what you are doing. You could be the one who is bringing too much money in their house. But let me tell you something, even if you are the one who's bringing money in the house, you're the one who's working, and maybe your husband is not working or something, there's still that need that you have for security, for having a man. And it is okay if certain things fail and you are single. Maybe you've never been married, or you divorced, or you are widowed. It's all right to be in that state, but you need to be aware. For those who are married, you need to know that it is not all rosy. Okay, it is not all rosy. Until you get there, you will actually realize that the person you had, even quarter of the man that you have, another woman would marry him. Okay, another woman would marry him, a quarter of what you have. Okay, a quarter of what you have, another woman would need. And this is not really a campaign to campaign for stupidity, to campaign for a man being a fool. No, that's not what I'm saying. But to say that you've got to be intentional and pay attention. So saying that, let's now deal with sensitivity in the bedroom. Sensitivity in the bedroom. Let's quickly today. I'll try my level best to hit both, both sexes, male and female, husband and wife. Let's talk about issues of sensitivity in the bedroom. Like I said, I have defined in this book that the bedroom is not the room per se. It is actually the family front. So it is important for you to know that as a man, you have to know from the time you came out of your mother's womb. When they shouted, it is a boy. Immediately, according to God's, precepts and his design, there is some level of leadership that actually is announced just by the announcement that you are a boy child. There is a way in which, as a boy, when you are growing up, even in the home, there is a way in which even mommy will depend on you. Last week and even the other week in church, we are not necessarily preaching with the usual preaching. We are having conversations. The other week it was daddies, who were put on stage and just to tell us what it means to be a man. Oh my God, the things I heard really amazed me. Last week we had young people, the young men. And they were saying that some of them are 13 years, some of them are 18. How that, even now, daddy is not home, like here. And my son was doing some work in Kabwe. Like, you need to come quickly because I'm alone. So there is even just that thing of depending. He's my son, but he's a man. Already, I was depending on him with security issues. When he came, my heart was settled because I know there's somebody in the house. Things like that. You need to be aware. As a man, you are a leader. Okay, you are a leader, and you need to start bringing out that leadership right from the home where you are growing up from. But also, you parents, do not over babysit a boy child. It is important for you to throw him in the deep end. Do not bring in your feminism in this boy child. Don't make your child to grow up into a he, she. Those are the troublemakers when it comes to marriage, because they are used to mommy doing things for them. They cannot think. You need to, when your child comes and says, mommy, how about this and this? Just say, what do you think? Okay, what do you think? Get your boy child to think. The man you are married to and you are complaining about certain indecisions that he has, it is the work of some parents. Some parents did not do certain things. Do not repeat the same mistakes that your mother and your father-in-law made on your husband. Do not repeat the same mistakes. Begin to get that boy child to make decision. Throw him in the deep end, but also get him to wash the plates. Get him to make his own bed. Me, it's a rule. There are certain things in this home that my helper does not do for my children, for my son. If he wants my helper to do, he pays her. He must know that it is his responsibility. He's just a dependent. But the way we raise our children, the way we are raising this boy child, it can already show the trouble that you are going to bring on another daughter. Because you are not raising the boy child with that decision making aspect, with that security in him, without leadership in him. So, mothers, you are the one who are mostly with these children when daddy has gone, wherever he has gone to or something. There's just this inclination from even what we heard last week in our conversation. There's just this inclination that boy child has with the mother. Do not spoil him, teach him manners. When we are getting in the car, I started already with my sons. You open the door for mommy. So it has already registered that a girl, you open the door for her. Simple things that a boy should do, begin it from the home. Being a head is not just about you, being feared. It's not about you just wanting to produce children. In the home front, you are the leader. You need to lead in character. You need to lead in integrity. You need to lead as a man figure. You are raising this family, and therefore, when it comes to leadership, you are the first person who is a standard for your family. Are you listening to me, men? Do I have men in the house? You are a standard. So you are the one who should go first to lead. Your word must be final. When you speak, let it match up with your deeds. Do not say what you cannot do. Your children are sharp. They are able to read into what you are writing on that social media. They are able to read into who else you are having conversations with. So if you begin to show your children that it's okay to mistreat their mom, Okay, you are going to grow up a very miserable old man. You need to know that. You can never mistreat the mother to your son. You will grow up a very sad man. And therefore, this is why it is important for you to come from the high horse of I'm the provider, I'm the one who should be feared. You need to also come down with that firmness. Be friendly, but your child is not your friend. Be firm, be friendly, but don't be a friend to your child. There has to be limits. So do not stand just on a pedestal of I am the father. I am the father. No, 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 no. Sometimes calm down. Play with them. But there has to be boundaries. There is a way in which when people say we will tell dad, there is a way there has to be some level of silence and respect in the home. If your children do not even, there is no shut up voice, they don't respect you as a father figure. Begin now building that, because there has to be a way in which they've got to look up to you for standard. You should be the model from home. Do not let your children be raised only by TV, only by Google. When something happens first to your children, they should feel free to come and ask you and not Dr. Google. Are you such type of a father? You must lead. Are you looking to be respected in the home? It's a standard, a command from God that, woman, you must submit to your husband, you must respect him. But listen to me, do it. You need to make it easy for your wife to respect you. You need to make it easy for her to respect you, not where you are going about doing disrespectful things and you are commanding respect. You cannot go around, doing everything that has to bring in disrespect, and yet you are demanding it. Be sensitive. Be conscious that you are a leader. Be intentional in leading your family to godly things. Raise a family altar. Set up a time to pray with your family. Let your children leave your home knowing we used to pray with daddy. When they go out, daddy, this. If daddy was here, this is what he said I must do. They must look up to you. So fatherhood is beyond you impregnating somebody. Fatherhood is about you carrying on the roles so that your children can have something that is, standard, something that they can look at. Remember, they can see God, they can see Jesus, they can see the Holy Spirit. So who is really fathering your children? So, sir, if your father failed to raise you, if your father failed to be present emotionally, you need to do that for your children. Even when there's been divorce, even when you have divorced, try your level best to die a little. You can't just demand. The woman is angry. You've got to put certain measures to be present, not just by buying school uniforms and paying school fees. That is good. That is powerful. But you need to know your children need more than grocery provider. Your wife needs more than someone who is impregnating her. Needs a friend. You need to be emotionally present. Before I conclude on the men, I also want you to know that there is a lot of adultery that has gone on in the marketplace. There are a lot of adultery affairs that are happening who you don't want to know. Why? Because a woman has got some freedom, has got some independence. She can go for a workshop. She can, come home at 20 hours. Listen, you are not immune from your wife going into adultery. That is why put it upon yourself. Do your wife well. Sir, it is important for you to know the children you are going to have are your children. That is why you've got to be intentional. Be emotionally present in your wife's life. Look at her. What is she saying that she's not saying? What is she saying? Because women have got a tendency of actually not saying what they want to say. So you've got to learn the art before you start raising children that are not yours. You've got to be intentional. So you cannot just be absent and just think, oh, my wife can't do such a thing. You will be shocked, dude. You will be shocked. Some of the children you are saying they are yours, they may be not yours because you have been absent. That is why you have to ensure that you are talking to your wife. Which voice have you allowed to be talking to your wife? You can't just relax and have a conversation with your wife. So if she can do a foot massage on you, can't you? Why can't you? Let her feel loved by you. Do certain expressions. Do not just walk about thinking she's the one who must cook. She's the one who must do this. What are you doing to ensure that your wife actually also feels loved by you so that there's no other voice she's hearing? There are many voices in the marketplace. There are young men who are intelligent in the boardroom. When they contribute, my friend, the girl just melts. Your wife melts by the intelligence that that boy is bringing out in the boardroom. And this thing that you like when your wife asks you about something, maybe, can we buy bread or bread rolls? You know what? Your wife just wants to pick a conversation with you. This thing where you like saying, I don't know, is not good. Listen to me. If you are men listening to me, the I don't know is a serious irritant and a put off. Somehow you have to know. And you need to know that here she's asking not really for an answer, but just to carry a conversation. Why can't you say, I think bread rolls? Don't say anything. When your wife just asks, would you want to have a simple snack or heavy meal for dinner? Anything. No. She's giving you an opportunity to have a choice. It's a buffet that she has presented to your mental faculties. And strike a conversation from there. Let's see what I can have. Shima or not anything. I don't know. You can think. Why she came to ask you, it is because she wants to have a conversation. You are rude. Don't be rude when you're given an option. Don't be rude. It's a serious put off. So you begin to answer like that. Then, after an hour, you want to make love to her. Come on, dude. Why can't you start from the conversation of what meal you want to eat and just, what do you think I can eat? What do you think? I think I can do a sandwich. And be nice. For heaven's sake, be nice. Even to be asked, she's being polite. So be nice, at least. No, I don't know. I don't know. When will you know? When will you know? Your wife is looking for a conversation. You're too serious. You're too serious. Relax. It's your home. You are the king. Relax. And just play around. Go in the kitchen also and just try if you can dish for yourself if the food is already there. Try and yeah, make things easy for your wife. You don't lose anything. That is sensitivity. Be sensitive. Your wife is beautiful, and there are men who are looking at her. You cannot even notice, that she did her hair. You can't notice simple things. You can't look at your wife. You won't even know what type of dress she's worn. Be in the habit of complimenting. That is beautiful. That is good. That is a nice dress. Oh, you're looking hot today, girl. I can't wait for you to come back home. Things like that. Simple. Be sensitive before somebody starts talking to her. It's very easy, and a woman gives her whole. The moment your wife goes into adultery, my friend, learn certain things. Be sensitive in the bedroom. Be creative. Romance her. Be creative and know Which places does she really get into the mood fast? Don't just demand, oh, I want this, I want sex, I want what, but yet you are not even romantic. You need to be creative. You need to make a wait. Let's not go into the details. Let's wait right there. I keep it right there. Some of the things are for, secret places where we have to gather in a, closed door, conversation. Then we talk about these things. That is why when we call for couples meetings, bring them, because I want to talk. I want to talk. All right, that is a good thing that has come there. That's why I'm dressed here. Before I actually conclude with the women, we are going for boot camp, okay, today in Zambia. We are going to have an amazing time in the presence of God. If your life is not making sense, let me tell you something. It's not about I pray, I pray, I pray. Today we are going to camp through up to Saturday. We are going to soak ourselves in the presence of God and just get, things done, do some spiritual mapping. And we have another boot camp taking place in Malawi. If you are listening from Malawi, we have it on the 6th, I think, 6th of June. And then South Africa, we are going to have it on the 13th. So please be part of our spiritual journey. So quickly, for a woman, sensitivity in the bedroom. It is important for you to know you are the custodian. Okay. You are the custodian of your home. My girl, oh my God, you need to know that the family is totally dependent on you when it comes to the leadership of a home. I'm talking about a home from the kitchen, sitting room to the bedroom. Yes, madam, you are working. Yes, you are the one who is bringing money. Yes, hey, the moment you say I do, start rehearsing. For those who are single, start rehearsing from the time you are single on how to avail yourself and how to multitask. I was telling my daughter, she was writing an exam, or she's reading for an exam. And, at a certain hour, I was talking to her. I said, I want you to imagine now you've got a baby. What would you do? She looked at me with shock. I'm like, oh, don't you know that you have a baby? You will have a baby. So I want you to tomorrow morning to wake up having it in mind as though you have a baby and a husband. What would you do? I began to prepare her from there. And so it is important for you to be sensitive to the stomach of your children, the stomach of your husband. You need to be present. You need to be intentional to be present in the kitchen. Being present may be proper leadership. You may not necessarily be the one cooking, but you've got to give good leadership. For those who don't like the kitchen, I do. So I don't want to bring in an old template to tell you must cook, you must cook. Because before you get irritated with me, I cook. But for those who are too nice and you don't know what to do in the kitchen, at least supervise your helper. Let your helper prepare proper meals. Okay, let your helper prepare proper meals for the family. I don't subscribe to that. I am very, very present when it comes to the kitchen and what is really going on. I try my level best to ensure that I'm really hands on, because there are certain meals my husband loves that I really want to ensure the carpenters, the beans, the fish. There's a way in which I want to be present as a woman. Let's quickly run from the kitchen. Be present in the sitting room. Don't be too busy. Don't be too holy. Not being present with what is going on. This is why I participate in soccer. I am in it. I'm seeing what is happening and I'm knowing where Manu is, what Arsenal is doing, what is happening. You need to be a social being and be that girl for your family. Be that, don't be too rigid. Relax, loosen up, and know what is trending. Contribute to any political conversations. Whatever your spouse loves, your children, participate, be part of what is happening. And finally, as we have only a few seconds to go, the bedroom is a place you are supposed to be intentional to make it a 5 star. Try your level best. I repeat, invest in white bed sheets. It should be the most expensive place. It should be the place where you are actually adding, unique things that are expensive so that you can bring that serenity and that mode for you and your husband. It's not a place where everyone must be going into. It is a sacred place for you and your husband. It is the highest altar. So me, I have said it, I'll repeat. It is now 30 years in marriage. I'll be 31 years in marriage. There is no helper who cleans my bedroom. There is no helper who makes my bed. There is no helper who touches my husband's, underwears and so on and so forth. There is no helper. I am present, like present. I clean myself. I change bed sheets at least once per day. Every morning, I take off those bed sheets. I put new ones, clean, and often I change pillows just for me to create an ambience. It's the only room you spend more hours in. It's the only place you've got to dream. That is why it can't be a place where your friends can come in, your children can enter. Oh, no, 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 no. It is sacred. It is a place of love. It's a place where God has to speak to you. It's a place where I'm intentional to ensure that I keep young for my husband. I'm very intentional on that. For more details about the bedroom and sexuality in the bedroom, which we are going to deal with later today, we are simply talking about sensitivity. We will deal with those things. So do make me your mentor so that I can mentor you holistically. Attend our personalized mentorship. The next one is taking place first week of June. Enroll in personalized mentorship. Also enroll as a life coach and NLP practitioner. I'm a trainer, and you are able to be accredited internationally. So there are several things that we are doing, in Project Life Design. I'm inviting you to be part of what is going on. I'm inviting you to be the next mentee that I'm going to have. Hire me, get me as your mentor, and your life will be transformed. Do have an amazing day as we get ready to pack and go for the boot camp. Shalom, shalom.